That leftover rice sitting in your microwave right now, the reheated soup in the plastic bowl, the hot dog you just wrapped in a paper towel and pressed start on. I need you to stop. Because what is happening inside that food at this exact moment is something your doctor has never once warned you about. There are 7 foods that release chemical toxins when they are microwaved. 7 foods that are silently attacking the senior brain. And I'm not talking about microwave radiation. That's not the issue. I'm talking about chemical compounds that your food generates under heat that cross directly into your brain and trigger the exact same molecular cascade scientists have linked to memory loss and Alzheimer's disease. Some of these foods are in your kitchen right now. Stay with me, because if you skip ahead before understanding what I'm about to show you, these fixes will mean nothing in your body. The next few minutes could genuinely protect your memory for the next decade. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah. Welcome to the Senior Health Podcast. I'm a geriatric specialist, and this podcast exists for one reason: to fight for you. Because I believe your health has been dismissed for far too long. Let me tell you about Walter. Walter was 74 years old, retired carpenter, 35 years of building furniture with his own 2 hands, strong, precise, methodical. The kind of man who could look at a crooked joint from across the room and tell you exactly which cut had gone wrong. His wife, Carol, called me on a Tuesday afternoon. She said, "Dr. Sarah, last Sunday, Walter picked up a photo of our grandchildren. He stared at it for a full minute. Then he put it face down on the table and walked away. He couldn't tell me which one was Tommy." Walter was not just getting older. Walter's brain was under a chemical assault that began every single day at the kitchen counter. And the most heartbreaking part? He was doing nothing wrong. He was just heating up his leftovers, the same way he had for 40 years. But then I found something, and everything changed. I'm going to share exactly what I discovered with you right now. Before I name the 7 foods, you need to understand why this is happening inside your body. And here is what honestly makes me angry. Most doctors look at a patient with real cognitive decline and say, "Well, you're in your 70s. What do you expect?" That is not medicine. That is an excuse. Your brain is not aging into oblivion. Your brain is being attacked by a very specific, very identifiable chemical process. It is called the age-rage loop. Let me say those words slowly. AGES. Advanced glycation end products. Advanced glycation are sticky, toxic compounds that form when proteins and sugars are fused together under high heat. Microwave heat. They travel through your bloodstream, they cross into your brain, and they attach to a receptor called RAGE. Think of it as a panic button on your brain cells. The moment they hit that button, your brain fires a full inflammatory alarm. It releases attack chemicals, TNF-alpha, IL-1 beta, that prime your immune cells into a permanent attack state. And over time, that alarm starts building the exact plaques scientists find in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Let me give you a picture that makes this crystal clear. Think about burnt caramel. When sugar goes too far in the pan and turns hard and brown and welds itself to the metal, that is exactly what these AGE compounds do inside your brain. They are caramel, stuck in the gears of the most precise machine you own. And there is a second attack happening at the same time. When polyunsaturated cooking oils are microwaved, the fat turns rancid and releases compounds called aldehydes, specifically one called 4-HNE, that land on the tiny power plants inside your brain cells and corrode them. Think of it as invisible rust on your neurons. A younger body scrubs that rust off every night with an antioxidant called glutathione. By age 70, that scrub brush is worn down by nearly half. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences followed healthy adults over 60 for 9 months. Those with the highest levels of these food-generated glycotoxins, in their blood showed measurably faster cognitive decline compared to those with lower levels. I want you to hear that again. Faster cognitive decline in just 9 months. Not surgery, not an inevitable fate. Just what they were eating and how it was being heated. Now, the 7 foods. I want you to go through your kitchen in your mind as I name each one. We'll start with the 4 you are most likely using every single morning. Number 1, and this one changes everything, is any food heated inside a plastic container. Takeout boxes, yogurt tubs, margarine tubs, frozen dinner trays. The moment plastic heats up, it releases BPA and phthalates, hormone-disrupting chemicals, directly into your food. A landmark study in environmental health perspectives tested 455 plastic products and found that almost all of them, including BPA-free containers, released chemicals that disrupted the hormonal and neurological system under heat. The fix is free and takes 10 seconds. Before you press start, transfer your food to a glass or ceramic dish, a Pyrex bowl, a ceramic dinner plate, a heavy coffee mug, any solid ceramic you own. That one 10-second habit removes the entire toxic leaching pathway from your morning, every time. Number 2, hot dogs, deli ham, bologna, bacon, and packaged sausage. These meats already contain sodium nitrite as a preservative. When you hit them with microwave heat, that nitrite reacts with the meat proteins and converts into compounds called nitrosamines, classified as probable carcinogens by the World Health Organization. For a younger person, the body can process a small amount of this. For a brain already fighting the age-rage loop, this is gasoline on the fire. Reheat these on a low stovetop pan instead, always. It takes 90 seconds longer. Your brain is worth 90 seconds. This next one surprises people. Spinach, kale, chard, fresh. They are brilliant for your brain, but reheated in the microwave? These greens are naturally rich in nitrates. Under high microwave heat, those nitrates convert to nitrites, and then trigger the same nitrosamine-forming reaction I just described. If you love your cooked greens, and I want you to keep eating them, reheat them gently in a covered pan with a tiny splash of water. They'll taste better and they'll protect you instead of harming you. Number 4, and this one connects directly back to that rest metaphor. When polyunsaturated fats, sunflower oil, corn oil, vegetable oil blends, are exposed to microwave superheating, they oxidize and begin releasing 4-HNE, 4-hydroxy-non-enol, those aldehyde compounds that corrode your brain's mitochondria. Studies found elevated 4-HNE directly in the hippocampus, the memory center, of Alzheimer's patients at autopsy. Never microwave seed oils or vegetable oil blends. If you need to add fat before heating, use a small amount of extra virgin olive oil in a glass dish. Its polyphenols provide a degree of protection against oxidation. Now, the final 3. These are the ones I see in virtually every senior kitchen, and the one that frightens me the most, I've saved for last. Number 5, microwaved potatoes, reheated toast pushed back into the microwave, crackers. When starchy foods are heated at high temperatures, especially to that slightly crispy edge the microwave creates on the outside, a natural amino acid in the starch called asparagine reacts with sugars and forms acrylamide. A 4-year study of over 2,500 older adults found that higher dietary acrylamide intake was directly associated with declining memory test scores in older men. Reheat your potatoes in a covered stovetop pan with a splash of water. No crisping, no browning. Toast your bread in a toaster on a lighter setting. Number 6 is reheated rice, and I am going to be very direct here because this one carries 2 separate dangers. First, rice is extremely high in starch, meaning the AGE problem we described runs very high when it is microwaved repeatedly. Second, and this one is urgent, cooked rice that sits at room temperature grows a bacterium called Bacillus cereus. Its toxin survives boiling. It survives microwaving. In seniors, it can cause severe illness and a hospital visit. Refrigerate cooked rice within 1 hour of cooking, within 30 minutes if your kitchen is warm. Reheat once only, all the way to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Celsius, and never reheat it a second time. Never. Number 7. those white takeout boxes from your favorite diner or Chinese restaurant. Styrofoam, also known as polystyrene, releases a chemical called styrene monomer into food under heat. Styrene is classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, and it is a suspected neurotoxin. I understand convenience. I understand you are tired. But this one is a hard no. Transfer to glass or ceramic before the microwave is even an option. Every time. No exceptions. Now, here is something I now recommend to nearly every patient I see managing early cognitive concerns. And it is sitting in your spice cabinet right now. Rosemary tea. 1 teaspoon of dried rosemary, that's 5 milliliters, steeped in 1 cup of just boiled water, 240 milliliters, covered with a saucer for 10 full minutes. 1 cup every evening. Rosemary contains a compound called carnosic acid, that research shows can trap the sticky AGE compounds before they bind to your brain receptors. The same burnt caramel mechanism I showed you earlier. It also activates your body's own internal antioxidant factory to rebuild the glutathione your aging body has lost. It tastes piney, warm, mildly bitter. Add a teaspoon of raw honey after steeping. If you are on blood thinners, warfarin, apixaban, or aspirin, or on insulin or diabetes medication, check with your physician first. Rosemary has mild blood thinning and blood sugar lowering effects that interact with these medications. Now, knowing my patients as well as I do, I know what some of you are thinking right now. Dr. Sarah, I've eaten this way for 40 years. Is it too late for me? Absolutely not. The brain has remarkable ability to reorganize and recover, what scientists call neuroplasticity, when the chemical attack stops. Reducing your dietary AGE load produces measurable changes in your bloodstream in a matter of weeks. You start tonight. What if I cannot afford Pyrex or new containers right now? I hear you, and here's the good news. Any solid ceramic bowl or mug you already own works perfectly. If it is a heavy ceramic coffee mug, a stoneware dinner plate, or an old ceramic casserole dish, it is safe. You do not need to spend a single dollar to protect yourself. What if I am already showing signs of memory trouble? Is this too late for me? The research that changed Walter's life was done on people who already had measurable cognitive decline. The age-rage pathway is not a one-way door. Reducing your dietary toxic load matters at any stage. But what matters most right now, today, is what I'm about to tell you next. So please stay. And I want to be completely transparent with you right now. I am a doctor, but I am not your doctor in this video. These protocols are powerful. I have seen them work on my own patients and in peer-reviewed research, but they do not replace your personal medical care. Please always talk to your physician before starting anything new, and never stop your medication suddenly without your doctor's direct guidance. Your medication is there for a reason. Protect it. Okay, before I let you go, there is one more thing I need to warn you about. This is the mistake that will undo everything I just taught you, and I promise you, virtually every person watching this right now is making it. Every single day. You see those 2 words on the bottom of your plastic containers? Microwave safe. I need you to understand what that label actually means, and more importantly, what it does not. Microwave safe is an FDA structural test. It only certifies that the container will not melt, warp, or crack under microwave heat. That is all it means. It says nothing, 0, about whether BPA, phthalates, or other hormonally active chemicals are migrating into your food while it heats. The FDA has never required a microwave-safe label to prove that no chemicals transfer into food. That means the very label you trust is the label that has been silently letting you down. Researchers tested 455 plastic products, including BPA-free containers with a microwave-safe stamp, and found that almost all of them released hormonally active chemicals when heated. Almost all. And here is what makes it worse. Those BPA-free containers replaced BPA with a chemical called BPS, which preliminary evidence suggests may damage the brain in the same way. The fix is simple. It is free and it takes 10 seconds. Before every single microwave session, transfer your food to glass or ceramic, a Pyrex bowl, a ceramic plate, an old casserole dish. That one habit removes the entire leaching pathway from your kitchen. Walter started doing this. 3 months later, Carol called me. She said, Dr. Sarah, he picked up Tommy's photo himself this morning, and he smiled. So remember, transfer to glass before you press start, drink your rosemary tea every evening, and never trust a microwave-safe label again. Start tonight. Your brain will thank you by morning. Now, if your brain is showing the early signs of this chemical attack, your heart and your arteries are almost certainly under the same assault. And what I prepared for you right here on this screen is going to show you the single most important thing you can do in the next 24 hours to protect them. I'll see you there.